Hi, my name is Hera and welcome to another episode of New Hera podcast. Today we are talking about UFO cover-ups and conspiracy about UFOs. So let's start talking about the UFOs. What is actually UFOs? UFO is unidentified flying objects. It's formally called Foo Fighters by US airmen during World War II. In the era of World War II, when this all started to appear, the 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 term ufology became popular. What is actually ufology? Ufology is a neologism coined to describe the collective efforts of those who study unidentified flying object reports and associate evidence. Not all ufologists believe that UFOs are necessarily extraterrestrial spacecraft, because always aliens are linked to the UFOs, but I think that UFOs, when they appear with the aliens, when the happened after World War II, when the Roswell crash, UFO crash happened, they tried to cover up those things, and when they learn alien technology, the CIA or FBI, they developed themselves the UFOs. So we actually in today's world we don't know whose UFOs are these. Are they extraterrestrial um, or or ours from our era, from our world? So we oh yeah Not all ufologists believe that UFOs are necessarily extraterrestrial spacecraft or even that they are objective physical phenomena. Even UFO cases that are exposed as hoaxes, delusions, or misidentifications may still be worthy of serious study from a psychosocial point of view. While ufology does not represent an academic research program, UFOs have been subject to various investigations over the years, varying widely in scope and scientific rigor. The following alien UFO cover-up spanned from World War II through the Cold War. So the Cold War happened, and these are a lot of on the conspiracy wiki. There are a lot of info about that, and I will not talk about it. But the first UFO plans happened in 1920s and 1930s by We Real Society, who contacted with Aldebaran to acquire very real power. What is this Real Society? The Real Society was an inner circle of women physics in 1990 who shared a common interest with other Germans at the time to restore and regenerate Germany after having lost World War I and being subject to heavy sanctions. Like very prominent secret societies sought the metaphysical world to achieve and desired restoration of Germany. The Varial group was small enough that they might have survived the 1933 banning of secret societies right through the length of World War II. A supposed letter dated 1945 addresses the Varial Gesellschaft promoting contact with Aldebaran. I think they tried to get into that UFO stuff and all that, and they also talking about how Nazi in the World War II have their own UFO space program in 1930s. So the Nazi UFO space program was developed from specifications that were submitted by the Thule, Viril, and Black Sun societies. The Nazis developed UFOs that were called Foo Fighters by US aviators. And they also have theories that Nazis are actually on the dark side of the moon, but I don't think that that's true. That's actually true. But because of a lot of evidence against them, so they couldn't be on the dark side of the moon. But I like the movies and stuff about that. They're pretty funny. And actually, they talk about designs. Who brought them designs to Nazi and like that. They wrote initiates of both the Thule and Viril secret societies were determined to develop an alternative science and alternative technologies based on principles possessed by the great lost civilization of Atlantis. They tapped into this source by channeling beings from Aldebaran system who are thought to be the Anunnaki, allegedly lost civilization of our world, who um, who who allegedly another time allegedly uh, they they were aliens who went to the earth and they tasted the genes and um, they found out that they can create us. So they allegedly create our species, our humans. So let's see what other is wrote. Upon studying those otherworldly esoteric designs, Dr. Wu Schumann and his associates from the University of Munich realized the channeling actually contained viable physics, and over the ensuing years, construction was initiated to make this flying machine a reality. The first prototype by 1922, development of a working prototype was underway. Meanwhile, Germany saw the inception of the National Socialist Party and Adolf Hitler's rise to power, fueled in part by the utopian visions of a new world order inspired by the Thule and Viril societies. By 1934, the first manned test flight of the FZ-1 took place. And there's a Nazi moon base, what I said in what I said before, a conspiracy theory that claims that some of the million Nazis traveled to space after the end of World War II and they colonized the moon. The theory states that the Nazis had created a UFO program and that they used the alien technology to travel to the moon and establish a base there. Some even believe that Hitler faked his death and fly to the Nazi moon base. There are a lot of conspiracy about Hitler, but we in this episode we won't cover that. We just talking about the UFOs. So Foo Fighters. The term Foo Fighter was used by elite aircraft pilots in World War II to describe various unidentified flying objects or mysterious aerial phenomena seen in the skies over both the European and Pacific theaters of operations. They were formally reported from November 1944 onwards. They also called Nazi UFOs. Author Renato Vesco revived the wartime theory that the Foo Fighters were a Nazi secret weapon. In his book Intercept UFO, he reprinted in a revised English edition. Uh, mm, the Intercept UFO was reprinted in a revised English edition as man-made UFOs. So talk a lot about the and you find out what the UFOs are and what is ufology and that. So I think I can talk outside the conspiracy wiki and say something about that myself, because I myself am a ufologist and I um, I myself love aliens, UFOs. Who doesn't love that? And I think that UFOs are real because of the a lot of the evidence that are there, and a lot of the movies, and a lot of how government try to cover up these things, like they didn't even happen, like they when the Roswell UFO happened, they UFO crash happened, they even try to try to um, try to mind control people to say that they didn't happen. I mean, uh, they try a lot of the things, but the doctor Stephen Greer on the seriousdisclosure.com has a lot of the has a lot of to say about that, and uh, he he have a movie about that. I watched it, and there are a lot of the things in this movie that intrigued me on another level, and uh, they some of them I believe that this happened, but when he said that he was part of some of that, I think that bring me closer to that a little more, and I answered myself some questions that I couldn't answer before. So uh, yeah, there are a lot of lots of spectruality, and uh, it's hard to believe that even happened. I mean, a lot of people uh, have against Dr. Stephen Greer, and they hate him because of that movies about and I mean, it's hard, it's hard. So I mean, I don't have to say anything about that. You can start exploring yourself, guys, and see that this is not some uh, science fiction story that are linked to the real world. I mean, and that. So this is it for today's episode. See you in the another episode on Friday. Yeah, 8 a.m. Stay tuned.